Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl PETRAA now here representing. Thank you for tuning in right now to Highway 6 to Africa. It's me, your girl PETRAA. We have the wonderful TyB and the fantastic Ron Mollinga in the place. So we're happy that you're going to be joining us for the last show of 2024. I'm so sad. How are you guys feeling? How are you, TyB? How are you, Ron?
Ron, go for it.
Oh, okay. I'm doing fine. You know, I'm one of those people who's retired, so every day's a Saturday. So every day's a good day. So there's never a bad day. I mean, I get to do the things I want to do, and so it's every day's a beautiful day. So I have no complaints because nobody wants to hear them anyways. So it's been a wonderful holiday. Seen lots of family, lots of friends. Hope everybody else got to do that as well. And you know, it's just been a nice time, and it's nice not going away somewhere and being in a rush in the airports or wherever, whichever way you prefer to travel. And that's one of the nice things about being here in Canada. So, how about you, TyB?
Well, it's been quite an interesting holiday. We're still in it. As we were speaking of air, on Christmas Day, the team went downtown Toronto, as we've been doing over the past 3 years, to give gifts to the homeless, and it was such an experience as compared to the other times that we have been doing this, because this time around we're able to interact and to speak with a lot of brothers and sisters who are not, fortunate to be in enclosures that I call apartments or houses. And no, it was just too much. It got to me, but I think we have to work harder to sort of alleviate some of the shortfalls and shortcomings of the brothers and sisters outside. It was just, an experience that would stick with me for a long time. Yeah. Other than that, it was great.
Yeah, most definitely. And how long has Love Bay been doing this? Can you share to the listeners? Because Love Bay's been doing this for a couple of years now, eh?
Yeah, this is the third year that we've been doing this, and it's quite interesting because sometimes we forget about circumstances outside of our comfort zone. But we went to a place on Jane and Finch. There's a lot of people in Toronto know Jane and Finch, at an area where I least expected people to be camping out.
Wow.
It was a park, and we were able to get 2 people there because it was very cold in the morning. 2 people because in the morning they had to leave to go and get warmth somewhere.
Wow.
So we got 1 person, and most of these encampments have some of them have heaters, and it's dangerous too. You know what? It's quite dangerous. One thing that hit me was around Billy Bishop Airport, and whilst we were there, there were about 5 different tents, and we went to one, the first one that we got to, and it was hello, Merry Christmas. We're here to give you to celebrate Christmas with you, and we've got gifts for you. And this gentleman opened this little hole in the tent and says, "Oh, Merry Christmas!" And then we gave him the gift, and the gift had jackets, blankets, toques, Timmy cards, gloves, and what have you, and other stuff. And as soon as we gave him the gift, he says, "Oh," I said, "Is there any other person in there that we can share this with you?" And he said, "Yeah, my child is here." And it hit me right there. And this little kid, about 5 or 6 years old.
Oh wow!
So we gave them the two gifts, and you know what? It was that, and we went under the Gardner Expressway, and we saw this couple. We saw this guy who came out, and we had a conversation with him, and he was doing great. and he and his girlfriend lived there. There were about 5 or 6 tents over there, and then most of them have left except them. But he is working. I mean, if you look at the guy, he's kept himself. If you meet him on the street, you might not think he's homeless. He clean and stuff like that. And we started talking to him. Apparently, he lives with a girlfriend who is sick.
Wow.
She had a hip surgery, and then they said some of the veins can explode and all those kind of stuff. And he was telling us how good he is alive just because of the woman, because she's an inspiration to him.
Wow.
And we gave them gifts, and he said he's working hard to get a place to stay. Some organizations are working with them to get them places. We went to so many different places where people were sleeping on vents in the street in this cold weather, and then the smile on their faces that you give it says, "Oh, is that for me?" That will hit you, right? It feels like they don't have anybody, but at least somebody has been able to think about them, to come and give them to celebrate Christmas and other. We had that kind of interaction with a lot of people, and it was quite an experience. We went to another place near the Lamport Stadium, which was big last year, but when they were no longer there. But then they have built, the city has built a very big warming center for them. And
very nice.
People were there to come and give them stuff, and then we said, nah. We went to so many different places. So that's how we spent Christmas morning. And I wanted also again to go and help my friend Dr. Sebastian. If you're listening, he says he gives them money every year, but this time he wanted to go on the ground to help serve food. So he wanted me to come and, I told him I was going to help him out, but ours was also there, so we couldn't sort of juggle as to how to do it. But that's just how we spent Christmas. So it was wonderful. It was on that side, not happy, but at the same time, to what, we got a chance to celebrate Christmas with them. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with us, TyB. I mean, it's so amazing. I think many of us get caught up in the whole activities of Christmas, just making sure that we spend time with our family and our friends, and just the token idea of Christmas. But a lot of us forget that there are people out there that are actually struggling. You know what I mean? Like every single day. And what you said about the gentleman with his child, that really just touched me and really just hit home, because we think about Christmas as being for the children, and we assume like every child's gonna have that Christmas fantasy that we all kind of grew up with. But there's really some children out there that, if they even get one gift, it's a blessing. So it's wonderful that Love Bay continues to contribute, to people every single year and make a huge difference, and you continue to inspire not only those people, but everyone around the world that's just listening to what Love Bay is doing and continues to do so.
And to add to that, prior to that, I think it was on the 7th of December, we had a Christmas party for children too.
Yes, you did.
That was amazing.
Can I ask for you, Santa Claus?
Yeah, Santa made a nice appearance. I wish you were there.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Santa.
I just thought it was maybe him.
At some point in time, one of the kids came and said, "Santa, your hat is on the ground." I didn't even know that it was down there. So the children, they had a very wonderful time. Actually, we had over 400 applications, people to join with us, and the place took 100.
Wow!
So we spoke with the city of Brampton that helped us out, and they were able to manage it, and we got about 120 or thereabout. PETRAA, you were there, and yes, and the toys, those who were not able to make it, right? Actually, as a matter of fact, last Monday, we were able to reach out to them and then handed the rest of the toys to them.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, we had a list of them. So we got, and there's a community center, an organization that put in a lot of entries there. So we called them up and said, you know what, we got some of the toys for you. They're very, very, very appreciative of that. So they came and picked them up, and it was quite quite an interesting time. So the Christmas has been busy and doing what we want to do.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's so good.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we're kind of getting towards the end of the year now, fellas. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
2025 is vastly approaching. So any New Year's resolutions? Any, Ron? TyB?
Never make them. I'll set goals, but I never make New Year's resolutions. Not
What's
me.
the difference between a resolution and a goal? What would you have?
I'd say goal is something you do all year long, but I would say a New Year's resolution is something like I'll use a pork one, that maybe just exercise every day, or exercise, or go on a diet, or lose weight, or something like that. That's a New Year's resolution, which can be a goal just as well, I guess. So that's it. There's a fine line between the two. I think a goal is something you set up and you don't just start it on January 1st. But that's me. I don't know. There's no rights or wrongs to that.
People do that to break it.
Yeah.
It depends. I did that last year and I kept it. I say January
Yeah, you do.
24, I'm gonna lose weight.
Yes.
54 pounds later.
You did it.
Good for you.
You know, so we're setting that goal again for 2025. We're gonna just trim off the sides and tone it up a little bit, you know.
Petra. I have one goal for exercise, and that's to do 5,000 kilometers a year, and I generally do that. I've got to that. Yeah, so that's one of my goals. But it's not a New Year's resolution, I wouldn't say. It's more of a goal.
You already hit 5,000, or you already hit it?
Already did. Oh yeah, bastard.
Double it then. 10,000. Come on, Ron.
Oh, that would be a tough one. Yeah, I'd have to be out doing like 2-3 hours a day for almost every day of the year. That would be a tough one. But there are some people that do it. Yeah,
it's true. It's true. With me, my hope is to be healthy.
Yeah.
Eat healthy.
Good. Yes.
And stay away from
Ron.
How did you know that was my resolution too? That's my goal too.
That's right. Mine is to stay away, go herbal medicine, and use a lot of because I have learned a lot, I have read a lot, and it seems if I don't know whether it's the right thing to say, because right now it seems like if you go to the hospital even for a scratch, you're given a prescription to go and buy medication and stuff like that. But then there are herbal medicines that does even better, because medications doctor prescribe. I'm not saying that's bad. Doctor prescribed medication, can trigger a lot of other stuff. So you know what? I've come to the realization that I will do that. So I'm looking at going herbal, because I have something to say. Like yesterday, I had a lot of phlegm, and I read, because I've been posting a lot of medical stuff. I've been reading a lot of medical stuff, and says if you have a lot of phlegm, it worked for me though. You may use cloves tea, or you can chew cloves. I swear to God, I did it, and it's disappeared. It's disappeared. So it has reinvigorated me to say that, okay, look at the other side, because there are a lot of herbal medicine out there that works. It really works. And so I'm looking at heading towards that. But on top of it all, I just want to live a healthy lifestyle, and also ensure that Love Day does a lot of things that will bring information, get into the community, worldwide, globally, share our experiences, share what we're doing right now, and do better, because we are going to retool the studio. I can tell you that. we are retooling the studio and then give listeners something different in terms of the quality of sounds and all these kind of microphones, all these kind of stuff there. Yeah,
so
that's
upgraded then. Are you upgrading?
Yeah, we are upgrading.
Yeah,
we are upgrading. So basically, that's what I'm looking forward to, and then to be able to come on Highway 6, and then to share our experiences, to discuss stuff, and then to make everybody happy, and to do what we have set ourselves to do. I think that's my resolution, and to love life, love family, love friends, love everyone out there. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I wish the world would take that one on. I mean, just all of what you've said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like it to work for me, though. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would. I'm looking forward for even a better year as opposed to this year. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, 2024 was definitely a challenging year, you know. It was definitely I mean, 2024, when you add it all together, I'm a bit into numbers. That's the number 8. So 8 symbolizes infinity, you know, the continuation of the journey. You know what I mean? Now moving into 2025, when you add the numbers together, 2 + 2 + 5 is 9. 9 is completion. You know what I mean? So
Ron, she's become a numerologist, eh?
I see. Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm a little bit into numerology, you know? So, I mean,
Yes.
what do you say, Ron?
I didn't say anything. I said, I just agreed with TyB. I'm not going to say anything. No. But go ahead, Petra.
Yeah, there's power in numbers, you know what I mean? And I mean, for 2025, like, I mean, this year was definitely, I finished school this year, you know what I mean? And I felt like this year was allowed me to kind of tie up some loose ends and kind of transition into my next chapter, so that now moving forward, 2025, my goal is to do what I've been waiting to do for the longest time, which is to get back to music. So I'm super excited, you know, I have something in the works with somebody I know, you know, so I have something coming out. So we're working on something for 2025, and then just a lot of things you mentioned, TyB, you know, just to live healthier. I lost 54 pounds last year, so moving forward, I have maybe like another 15, 20 pounds to go, but I really want to just tone up. I want to be healthier. I want to continue to work out, you know, continue with the Muay Thai, you know, and then just continue learning and educating myself to be a better person, and just to be able to give back to the community, and just to be more of an asset to the community, and to help others to achieve what it is they want to achieve, you know, because I feel like the trials and tribulations that we've all gone through is all served the purpose, you know, and sometimes we are that guiding light for others that are going through it, or, you know, are in the midst of something. And the fact that we've gone through and overcome it, that is an example to others. So our journey is an example to others. So we have to continue to keep inspiring each other, you know, and leading by that example. So
you know, Petra, I saw something last night on the news, and it was very interesting. It was in regard to an island in Italy, as to why the people there live so healthy and so long. And there was an interesting look at the people, because they were doing a study on them. And they showed that one of the things is somewhat genetic as to how long you live. It's about, they thought up to 30%, but it's actually less than that. 30% can be contributed to genetics. The other 2 are staying physically fit, or at least enough so that you're constantly moving. So you're not sitting for long periods of time and doing things like that. They showed this in the people. And of course, the other one is your diet, what you are eating. And they eat a lot of homegrown vegetables right from their backyards and the likes. And they found that put those 3 things together, and you're probably going to stand a better chance of living a longer. And not only that is, I see a lot of people who are older and they're, you know, look like they're in a lot of pain. It's getting rid of the not being in that pain as you get older. And those are the 3 things that, one, which you have no say in whatsoever, and that's your genetics. But the other 2, which is exercise and diet, absolutely do. You are the sole contributor of that. So it's just an interesting way of looking at how to live a better lifestyle.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like my grandmother right now, she's 92 years old, and this lady, she's always grown her own fruits and vegetables in her garden. Like I remember in England, I used to watch my grandmother like use a pitchfork and dig up like concrete, just to get to the soil so she could plant tomatoes and potatoes, and then she'd give them out to the neighbors. And her mother lived till she was 100 years old. She was a centurion, my great grandmother Tanti. And she even got a letter from Queen Elizabeth, So that was really beautiful. She did pass away, unfortunately, 5 days after she did turned 100. But I can look at those women in my life and know that they ate home cooked meals. They just ate healthy, And my great grandmother, she'd be like 94 and she could like wind down to the ground and wind back up. She'd still be going to carnival in St. Vincent in her 90s,
Wow. Wow. Oh, really? Yeah. And those are really important. Just keep yourself moving, and also, your diet. Those are the two you have that control over. And if you keep yourself going physically and what you're eating, you stand a better chance. Heck, we could all get hit by a bus one day, but you don't worry about those ones because those you don't have a say in. So it's just do the best you just do, and think about for your body's sake too. Your body probably appreciates it too.
Yeah, most definitely. And you mentioned something I'm also interested in too, TyB, is the herbs. I'm very much a herbalist too. And the power of herbs, I've used herbs to definitely heal myself. You know what I mean? And living naturally is definitely something I see a lot of the world gravitating towards nowadays, Like even some of the laws that you've heard Trump pass and RFK, John F. K. Is it RFK Jr.?
Yeah, RFK Jr.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But like that is definitely very, very hopeful moving forward, because I think this whole thing with COVID that occurred, and everything that happened with the vaccinations, I mean, it opened up many people's eyes to the fact that we don't have to divert to medicines, to heal ourselves, God has given us everything naturally on this planet. Even those medicines that people are running to, a lot of them come from something natural. There's natural ingredients in there that have been processed to give you that medication. So why not go to the root? Why not go to the source? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then
No, go ahead. Animals get sick, but then they don't go to the doctor. Animals get sick, they don't go to the doctor. So you touched something about COVID and say with the vaccines and all these kind of. There are a lot of actors and actresses who lost their jobs because they didn't take it, because they were thinking of themselves. Ice Cube was one of them.
Yeah.
Yes, Ice Cube. I have a listing of them: Steve Burton, Ingo Radmacher, Rockmond Dunbar, there's Andrea Bordeaux. She lost acting a lot of contracts. I made mention of Ice Cube and stuff like that. So Laura Osnes. There's a lot of people. There are a lot of people who don't believe in these things and they go herbal. But then herbalism wasn't kind of popular for some reason. If I can go back, you see that there were big pharma, if I can put it that way. Yeah, there were so many areas where there was the pushback. You see, there was the pushback against all these. But that's a different topic altogether. But then at the same time too, I think it's worked for me. And right now I use a lot of other. I read like guava leaves and mango leaves and all these teas and all hibiscus and all these kind of those ones. If you Google them up, they tell you.
Exactly.
They tell you. There was one article that I read, and it was about was it yellow fever or something like that? And they were saying that the science in the 70s and the 60s, it's not the same thing like we have here. So they've been able to go beyond the call of duty and have been able to look at every data, and they are disputing the fact that there are so many things. Well, saturated fat and all those, now they are saying it's good, they're beneficial. So now it gets to a point where we get confused as to whether this one is good and tomorrow the other one will say, it's not good and stuff like that. So we have to be, we have to think of ourselves right now as to which way we go. I have chosen to go the herbal way. So you know what? Hopefully, God will be good to me for this coming year, and I'll have to stick with it because people make resolutions, and Ron has given a different definition of that. He says goal, which I really side with him, because if it's a goal, you don't break a goal. People don't break goals if it's there, if it's a goal that they really believe in. But if it's a resolution, everybody can say, I'm not going to drink. The same night, they will have a hangover. They break it right off the start.
That's why I don't like them. A goal is something you're striving to do continuously, as opposed to something that if you break it one day, you took a puff of your cigarette and you said, I'm going to stop smoking. And then everything sort of winds down and goes, okay, I'll be right back to where I was. And I don't like them that way. I like goals better. I think goals are a better thing to set. I think for myself as a person, they are. And I know that, for instance, even when I'm riding one, if I don't ride on a particular day, it's not a big deal. It's not going to break my goal. I just know that I just have to keep going at it and keep working at it. And I think that's the best approach. Personally, for me, that's the best approach. Can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself. That's how I like to work.
Yeah, with that resolution, everybody makes it. So if everybody's making it, people also, my New Year's resolution is that. But the question is, do they believe in what they are resoluting themselves towards? I don't think so. A lot of people don't. And I commend you, PETRAA, for sticking to the goal. It wasn't a resolution, it was a goal. And you achieved it.
Yeah,
you achieved
that's
it.
the idea.
That's the idea. Yeah. I agree with you, Ron. That's you brought my mind back to the two, right? The differences between the two. I wasn't thinking of it that way, but it's a goal. I wasn't. Seriously, I wasn't. And thanks.
And goals can start and stop anywhere along the way. That's the thing, it can be. They don't have to be January 1st to start, and by January or by December 31st they have to be achieved. No, they can start any time in the year. So that's what I like about them.
Wow.
To each his own. There's no right or wrongs. It's whatever works for you.
Yeah. I mean, I was researching the word resolution, right? So the definition is a firm decision to do or not do something, or the quality of being determined or resolute. So I could see why people don't hold firm to a resolution, because it's the decision, you know what I mean? Where I feel like a goal is more than a decision, you know what I mean? I mean, you can decide to do something and decide not to do something. I feel like a resolution is very whimsical, but when you set a goal, that's solid, that's firm, people don't really set a goal, and then people, when they set goals, they're working hard to achieve that goal. People don't really work hard to achieve a resolution for the most part. So I'm happy you showed the difference, Ron. We're gonna be setting goals for the coming years, not resolutions.
That's just how I work. Because there's going to be times where things don't work out for you one time, or a day or two or three or a week, but you can still have that goal. But if you start gaining pounds after losing 50, and then you start gaining a few, you might think, oh man, what's going on? It's not that. It's the long term. I like it as the long term. And that's what I think goals are set more for. That's for me anyways.
Most definitely. So I wanted to kind of just talk to you guys about, talk about some of the highlights that happened over the past year, 2024, in the areas of Afrobeat and reggae music. It's definitely been this has definitely been a year. Like, honestly, I have to mention it. January 2024 started off with that prophecy from Cat Williams. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We should be calling Cat Williams a prophet now. You know,
That's
like
right. Mhm.
he came out with his prophecy, and it's like revelation after revelation. So, I mean, that's neither here nor there. You know, we definitely saw the whole music industry being shaken up from the top of the pyramid, and we've seen it now just trickle down. I feel it has impacted and is going to continue to impact the music industry, as more and more quote unquote giants of the industry, certain revelations are coming out about them. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's definitely something we can touch on, you know. Prior to that, I wanted to also mention some of the artists in 2024 in Afrobeat that have made waves and continue to make waves, like Burna Boy. You know, Burna Boy, he released his album African Giant Returns. You know, so that definitely created some huge waves, and he did a huge performance at the Grammys. You know, that was 2024. Ron's favorite girl, Aristar. You know, so
Mhm.
yeah, she's definitely impacted audiences in a dynamic way with the singles like Celestial Light, and it became a global hit. And also Wizkid, you know,
Mhm.
Wizkid, he's the pioneer of Afrobeat music, you know, and his track Essence of Love earned a nomination for Best African Music Performance at the 2024 Grammys. So that definitely has been a phenomenal year for Afrobeat. And I do want to also shout out Rima. So Rima is
Mhm.
honestly one of my favorite artists. I love
Mhm.
Rima, you
Yeah.
know, the success of his album Raven Roses. And also we cannot forget the son of the pioneer, Sion Kuti, the legend, the son of the legendary Fela Kuti. He also released his album Heavier Yet Lays the Crownless Head. And yeah, that album was produced by Lenny Kravitz as well. So
Mm.
definitely some huge highlights for 2024. So what are your takes on that, TYB and Ron?
Right, you want to go?
Well, she said it all. I guess we shut the show down. Uh, I did a more widespread view of it, looking at what's happened in 2024. I was doing a research on some of the things that have taken place. You've already mentioned the Grammys. I don't think if you're going to talk about 24, you cannot not mention Taylor Swift. I mean, that was just obvious. She's had a huge tour for the last year and a half or so, which finally came to an end in December. So, I mean, you just can't not mention a person like that because it was so successful. A 34-year-old being a billionaire. That's not very common.
Mhm.
Um, and also, I also looked at I just looked at Hall of Fames, and I looked at significant people who've passed away over the
Mm,
last year. Like, of course, and you have to mention, my first thought was Quincy Jones, who
mm,
was just a remarkable, not only recording artist, singer, but of course, more known and his latter part of his life as a producer for the likes of Michael Jackson, Toto, and the likes. It just goes on and on. So I looked at those. I also looked at people that were doing some different things, like Beyonce with doing a country album, which has been looked at. I mean, she's getting Grammy nominees for it, so I guess somebody likes it. Sorry, it's not my favorite album. I have to admit, it's just not done anything for me. So I did a wider, I'll say, sweep of things. Um, I'll say with Afrobeat, the one thing that I think, and I've said this to a number of people, that I think Afrobeat needs to continue to strive for is to start having more musicians recording and writing the music rather than technicians. I
mm,
think this is the one factor that I'm hearing in Afrobeat that bothers me. It sounds too technical. I'm not hearing enough of what I would call the human being in it that is going to need to have to happen if they're going to break through to the top 10, even the top 10 genres. Listen, yes, it is huge in Africa. We all have to admit that. However, it is not huge anywhere else really in the world. Look how many Afrobeat artists go on world tours. not many. Sure, they can go from place to different places, just like Aerostar did in Toronto, but that wasn't a world tour. And so those are really, I think, things that need to happen in the coming years here. And I hope that, and the unfortunate thing is you don't have a lot of African artists who are trained musically. They are using their technical skills on a computer or laptop. However, they're not using their musical skills as much. And that's the one thing I think that if you're going to be any kind of artist, you need to have a musician on scene, a truly, a person that knows what they're doing in terms of music. And that's one of the areas that I think that in the coming year, I hope that those who are working in the Afrobeat industry strive towards. Enough for me, TyB.
Yeah, I agree with you. It seems this was a year where Afrobeat music, broke into the Grammys with, just like you said, with Burna Boy.
Yeah,
on stage. And it's been a year where I find that a lot of new Afrobeat artists also came out. And I would say there's a lot of Afrobeat musicians, artists out there. It seems they are tripping over each other, because if you listen to one, it seems you are listening to everybody, because it seems they are all using the same thing. So it's very difficult to sort of say that, okay, unless the person starts to sing. Burna Boy has got a different voice.
Yeah.
It's him.
Mm-hmm.
Davido has his own, his style. Wizkid and the others. But there are others out there who are really good. But then they're all doing the same thing. You're listening to the same thing. So I hope producers out there should be able to sort of shift it a little bit. It's a kind of a very great genre that can move you. But then, you know what? It's got to be the producers who have to look at different ways of, introducing live instruments and different kinds of styles and stuff like that to push it a little bit up there. Other than that, if that kind of action is not taken, it will die. It will just go down, because it's like a repetition. The same thing. Same thing.
It's like listening to lo-fi.
Yeah.
So it's the same beat. I hear the same beat with the same
beat.
time of drum
Yeah,
sound.
It is the same beat, the same style. And there are some, like Baba Kuboye, for instance. Baba is going the old way, doing his uncle's way of doing stuff. By the way, there's a possibility he may come to Toronto for the Afrofest. It's
lovely.
Afrofest has opened up to international artists. As a matter of fact, there's a platform, or there's a website where international artists can also apply to come and perform and stuff like that. I have given it out to a whole lot of people. They reached out to me, and I have done just that. But notwithstanding that fact, this year has also been the year where we discussed a lot about AI in the industry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we can spend a little bit of time. It's the best topic that I really love, because
I have lots to say about this.
It's not auguring well for musicians and the industry. Some people will say, well, it's been there, but no, you cannot replicate AI with the human touch, no matter what anybody says, because it will get to a point where even right now, when you look at pictures, you don't even know whether they are AI created or otherwise, because AI is doing so many different things.
Even videos, especially.
That's right. That's right. So where are we heading to? That's my question. Which way are we going? Are we going to a better place, or are we going to towards stagnation in terms of production and other stuff? So I really don't know. But somebody will say, well, it's been with us and it's still with us. But at the same time, too, it's been with us, it's still with us. How do I differentiate between AI produced music and Ron produced music, or PETRAA produced music, or TyB produced kind of music, introducing different kinds of stuff, So we have to look at that. One, two, is it going to sort of make a lot of people, producers and others, lose their jobs? Studio musicians and others, we have to look at that, the impact of it, and then where we are heading to. So I think it's something that, as artists and as producers and what have you, should look into it very, very seriously. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with you. Like, honestly, TyB, when it comes to AI, like, I have many different stances, because stepping away from the music industry and actually going into like marketing, which has led me into AI and automations, I see how beneficial it is, like looking at AI from a business perspective, because I work specifically with CRMs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
CRMs being what, sorry?
Customer relationship management tools,
Okay.
Like a Monday or a Go High Level. So having these embedded into a business is really good when it comes to reaching out to people, emailing, SMS, just communication. And that really helps with conversion rates and building relationships. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So using AI and automation as a tool to build relationships is good as a tool. But the thing is, the issue that I'm finding in the music industry is that they don't want to use AI. They don't want to keep AI as a tool. Like, using a CRM enhances the business or the business owner with a system that allows it to make it easier for the business owner or the business. The issue I'm finding with AI in the music industry is not necessarily trying to make things easier, but to replace the artist, to replace the musicians. So you're not helping. You're literally just eradicating. You're replacing one with another. And it's like, unless I feel like nowadays, unless you have a good sense or a good keen ear for music, you can hear, like, AI just needs to hear like somebody's voice and recreates a song. So it's like, unless you have a good ear for music and you know how that artist authentically sounds, you would hear an AI create a song and believe that is the artist, And it's really sad. I'm scared for the future generation, because we know, but the next generation coming forward that's born into this, like, what's it going to be like for them? They're not going to know. They're not going to have anything to hold it up against, to say, okay, that was what it used to be like, and this is what it is now. All they're going to know is this. Like, but at the same time, it's like, I look at the millennials, for example. They're a perfect example. Like, they're the generation that came after me, right? So, like, I remember, all of us on here knew there was a time when there was no social media, no YouTube, no Facebook, no Instagram, no TikTok.
You're dating us now.
I'm okay, because I'm in that category too, Ron. Like, my son Kingsley came up to me, and Kingsley's like, oh, so when you were small, there was no YouTube? I'm like, no. He can't even fathom the fact that there was no YouTube when, like, I was young. I'm like, no, like, we barely even had computers. We didn't get our first computer in the house until I was 18 years old. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 16. You know what I mean? But in that being the case, I look at what the millennials have done with social media. Like, they've done so much amazing things that my generation, like, if we had the opportunity, maybe we would have. But you see these millennials now who are like multimillionaires, and because they've managed to harness the power of social media and technology. So I feel like moving forward, it can go either way. You know what I mean? I feel as long as we continue to keep AI as a tool to enhance the human experience, we will be okay, But if AI is going to be used to replace the human experience, that's a problem.
Yeah. PETRAA, I agree with you. I've used AI to even say set goals. I was telling a singer just day before yesterday, get on ChatGPT, I said, and just ask it to make a plan for you for the next year. And I said, when you get that, share with me and I'll take a look at it. And a lot of the goals on it were realistic things that could be happening within the next year for a musician or singer in this case. And I thought, good for you. Okay, this is using it to your benefit. Where I will say that I'm not looking forward to it, and I hope this never happens, is that it will ever replace the human feel or experience. Because as soon as you take that experience away, then music starts to lose its feel. And humans have a feel about them that machines, I think, will never be able to have. I've said this many times. It's just the way we play. I mean, guitar players, when we play, you'll hear our strings slide on our fretboard. That's just human. But if it's AI or it's perfectly done, like some samples are, it just doesn't sound human enough. And so to me is where I worry about it. It's similar to what you're saying, Petra. Use it to your advantage so that it can give you information. I've even asked it, questions very simple, like even today, what's happened in the last year in 2024? And it gave out a lot of good things to discuss. However, one thing it had me question about was one person's death, and I did not hear about this. And I thought, I didn't know Toby Keith died this year, and maybe he did. That was the only thing that had me questioning. But it was just, you have to be able to question it and ask yourself, is this valuable? And if it's not, share it with somebody else to see if it is. Especially like maybe in your case too, Petra, it's like if you want to figure out things, how should I go about learning music in the next year? What goals should I take to get better at being a singer or a songwriter or whatever you wish to be? What could I do to get better at that? Those are the kinds of questions I think that AI needs to be asked questions and not be put into being an implementation into the music. That's where I think it's beneficial. And if anybody doesn't use it, you better start, because it's either get on the bus or the bus is going to leave you behind. And I just think those are the facts. Of a relative of mine, she's a photographer. She says she uses AI all the time, just for ideas of what to do. Where should I go next? Who should I see next? Who would be good people to get in contact? Those are the things that can be helpful. And what AI does, it does a huge search all over Google and the internet, whereas you would be going and going into Google. If you're Googling your ideas, I say, why? Why are you doing that? Because you can just go into ChatGPT and ask it the same questions, and it'll go, shoot. Exactly. It'll have all these ideas that it searched all over the internet and found them for you. So why are you using Google when you can just ask ChatGPT? That's not saying it's any more correct. Half of what Google has is wrong. I read this in a really good book. So I think you use it to your advantage, but don't use it to run your life.
That's
TyB, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's got its we just like I said before some time ago, that when cars were being introduced, they were the buggies, and when the buggies were there, it was, oh no, you can't do that. No, you can't use that. And now cars are there, buggies are a thing of the past. So people didn't want to get on the. So in every phase in our lives, there has been something. But what I'm saying, AI is good, but when it comes to our industry, there are a lot of people who have gone there, to learn how to play violins, and now we don't see the philharmonic orchestras and all those things anymore for recording purposes. Just go and use your strings in the studio. So why would you come and bring about, say, 15, 20, or 30 people to come and do a soundtrack? Whereas you can use the same thing there. So what is going to become of those people?
Yes, that's been going on for lots of years here in Canada, around the world. There's less places to play. We could thank Spotify for this to some degree, and many other social media places, because clubs are just not there. Musicians are having a lot more difficulty with this, but that's not necessarily AI. That's more the internet that's probably brought that on. Go ahead, TyB.
I agree with you, and it seems like There's no way out there. Just like you just outlined that, you just have to get on board or you get off.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that it is coming. But how do we, as artists, yeah, it's here. So how do we prepare ourselves to sort of get ourselves involved in, with that movement? This is the question that a lot of people would have to say.
I think that thing that'll always happen is that it's always going to be humans that are going to create the best songs out there. The best ones will always be created by humans. And there's just no way about it. As I've often thought, it takes about 10,000 hours of practice to become a professional musician, whether it's singing, whatever instrument, whatever it is. It's about 10,000 hours. Wow. And so if you want to take the shortcut, you want to use AI to do that work for you, I'm sorry, you are just, to me, it's not a legitimate earning that you deserve after you've spent those 10,000 hours. I easily have. I probably got about 30,000 or 40,000 hours of practice on my instrument, easily. But then that's an earning that you deserve. And if you do music writing, I heard a guy talk about this just this morning, it was so good. You have to have an obsession for it. And it's not for the money. If you're doing music for the money, you have it all wrong. You do it for the obsession because you absolutely love it. And that's what music's about. I mean, that's getting slightly off of what you're saying, but I just think if you're trying to find an easy road in with AI, sorry, that doesn't work. You just won't have my respect, and I won't even listen to your music if you are one of those people. I'm very passionate about this.
I can see, Ron.
I know. I am.
I love that. I want to play a little bit of angel's advocate because I don't use the other word, but I hear you saying, and I totally agree with you. I feel that no AI can make music better than a human because essentially it's humans that are supporting the music. It's not like AI is buying music from AI artists. It's still us, But essentially, like TyB said, like you said, it's like this train is going whether we're on it or we're off it. So one thing I feel like musicians, what they need to do is they need to educate themselves. You need to educate yourself. Like, honestly, like when I stepped back from music, it was one of the most painful, a little bit torturous things that I've done because all I know is music, I just love music and I gravitate more towards like older music, like Motown, Studio One, like real music. So already like I find myself in conflict with music of today, but stepping back and entering into the tech world. And it's weird because when I was studying, I felt my brain literally do a shift, because I was so used to resonating in the right side of my brain, but I had to shift into the logical side in order for me to be able to go through and succeed in whatever I'm doing. You know what I mean? So now being able to see things from different perspectives, it's like I'm so thankful that I do have some understanding of tech and AI because that essentially is the future. It's just finding out how it can fit into the music, how it can be a tool to the music. I feel like a lot of musicians, they don't know about AI. So it's like, it feels like it's a threat. And then what we're shown of AI is threatening because AI is literally coming and recreating artists' voices. And it's not even like these are artists we haven't heard of. These are major artists. So if a Drake isn't safe or a Michael Jackson isn't safe or a Beyonce isn't safe and AI is recreating songs using their voices, what about us? What about the masses? What about the independent artists that are not even really making money like those artists? As soon as we get a hit song, boom, AI is going to try and do something to copy our sound or our style. You know what I mean? So in order to relinquish that threat, we have to be able to educate ourselves on how AI can be a tool to us. And it's simple as you saying, Ron, typing into ChatGPT. How can I, as a musician in 2025, use AI as a tool to help me become a better artist? You know what I'm saying? Ask AI that, and AI will give you an answer, will give you a solution. We have to, as musicians, be at the forefront of technology in order for us to not allow this thing to eradicate our industry, to eradicate our craft, eradicate our musicians, our writers. We need to be educated.
Mhm.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything. I'm enjoying it because like then it means if we are touching on somebody copying your voice, AI copying Petra's voice or my voice or Ron's voice, then we need AI lawyers too, because there's going to be a lot of lawsuits
Mhm.
because you're using my voice that I didn't know anything about. So how is it going to pan out? Because if I hear my voice on a track that I didn't do, then I'll have a problem with that person.
That's called, and it should go under copyright problems or
That's
copyright
right.
laws.
But
That's
it's
right.
none.
So I know, and that's
It's
just
none
going to
at
have to
all.
change. Yeah, I agree. It's going to have to change that because nowadays, even it's always been this. What constitutes breaking a copyright law? Is it just the voice of the person? Is it the chord changes? Because I know Ed Sheeran was sued when he won the case for having apparently sounding like Marvin Gaye, I think it was. And I'm listening going, well, wait a minute. I listened to the two songs and I thought these aren't even close to the same. So, and Ed Sheeran won it because apparently why he was taking the chord, apparently the chords were the same chords. And Ed was saying, I don't even do that. I didn't even sit with that. I barely ever heard that song. And so those chords just came to me. And so they were the same song in a Marvin Gaye song. I believe it was Marvin Gaye. Don't quote me on that person. And I think, well, so what is it going to take? So if an AI voice takes who doesn't want my voice, takes yours, Petra, and it puts it onto, like TyB says, puts it onto another artist's material, or I steal your voice to sing on a song that I wrote, is that going to be a copyright law? And yes, it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And then it means they have to rewrite a lot of
Yes,
the laws
absolutely.
because they've got to do that because you know what there's a lot of challenges ahead, and I don't think the creators have looked at it. And for artists, I think we also have to be the copyright laws are obsolete. I mean, we have to be, if you go into it, obsolete.
Yeah. Yes.
So now they have to go back and rewrite stuff to fit where we're going. It's going to be very challenging because if somebody lives in Timbuktu or somewhere else, the person is using my voice and stuff like that, how are you going to sue that person? Using the AI and stuff like that, it's going to be very tough. So the new laws, the new rules, like Elon Musk said, we have to be very, very careful. He has warned us, right, that we are moving into into uncharted kind of areas. Yes. And we have somebody, Carlson Douglas is listening to us from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And Carlson, thank you. We love you listening to you. Merry Christmas to you. Love me, France and stuff like that.
Merry Christmas, Carlson.
Yeah. Petra, with your indulgence, may I digress a little bit and talk about some of the highlights of the program over the past year? Some of the artists who impressed us, and we are not going to say those who didn't, but then they all
no, that would be too easy.
Well, all of them impressed us in their own way. However, there was some that stood out.
Yes. I quite remember, and there were a whole lot of I mean, I'm so happy that we've been able to open up the platform to highlight a lot of artists who hitherto would not have been able to get airplay, because airplay plays a lot in terms of in Canada, for instance, to win a Juno, it's part of the criteria, airplay and stuff like that, right? And there are so many great artists out there who do not get access to showcase their music. Honestly speaking, every day we get artists who submit their music. If it's clean, we'll play it. And we've been doing that. And they are so excited. They are appreciative of the fact that we are doing that. Because this platform was set up just for that, because having gotten what I've gotten in terms of my experience in music, I think opening up a platform for this it goes a lot, a long way to help artists there. So we are going to be looking at so many different areas where we can even bring in more artists, be more interactive. We are on the verge of signing some, speaking with a couple of people to include PETRAA's company to help us reach levels where we can bring in more artists, be interactive and stuff like that. So over the past year, that was the beginning of what we are expecting to do. So the future is bright, and we look forward to an exciting 2025, where, you know what, as we know, PETRAA has been doing a great job hosting the show, and I think Ron and I have voted that PETRAA hosts the show. We did it behind the scenes,
Honestly, I just want to say, TyB, I am so honored for the opportunity to be a host, to host the show, and just to be able to host with you and Ron. Honestly, I look forward to Saturdays, and honestly, I'm just excited for the future. I also want to shout out Jan, our wonderful producer. If it wasn't for all of Jan's hard work as well, and you and Jan would be no Love Bay, So just thank you, for the past few years, when I first came on board with Love Bay, and to see, I don't want to get all emotional. How much it has flourished, over the years, and how many people you've inspired, how many people's lives you've touched, locally, nationally, internationally. It's just so beautiful, so I'm just so happy to be a part of the Love Bay family.
Thank you. I mean, it's a great pleasure to have you and Ron join the team, and we've been inviting Fasil. If Fasil is listening, and Fasil has been a part of the team on and off and stuff like that. But anytime we get him, he's right there. He just said, Fasil, he asks you what time, right? So we are going to continue to improve and then get this program where it's supposed to be, because a lot of people listen to this program. A lot of people listen.
And Kelson, if that's how you pronounce your name. Yes, Kelson. I saw your comment, and I was just chuckling, and I know exactly who you're referring to. I won't mention any names about your comment there about a person in particular we had. Yes, that's the one.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I think that was just you and me, TyB.
I know the one shot missed.
I will not mention that. I will tell you about the highlight. It's the fellow who played the violin, who lives in California.
Demola.
He was a knockout artist.
Demola was a knockout
really artist. Good violinist.
Yes.
Demola was good. I don't remember his name offhand. I've got him on Instagram.
His name is Demola the violinist. He's from Nigeria. Yes.
But he lives in the U.S. now, of course.
Yes, that's right.
Unreal.
Unreal.
Demola, so good. He's got such a great feel, and I really liked that, because maybe it was because he plays a real instrument. No, it's not that. It's just that the feel that he had was just spot on, and it was just great having somebody like that on the show.
That's right. Yeah, Carlson is giving us a lot of work to do this.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm a host. PETRAA, can you help out?
2024, I think, is supposed to
2024.
A lot.
So many. It's a
lot.
It's a lot. And we had Grammy Award winners, Juno Award winners. That's how the program has built itself up, because we have no boundaries. If we invite you and you come, sure, we share our conversation. We just do. We don't interview. As a matter of, we don't do interviews on this platform. We have conversations, and I think if PETRAA, if you can recall, was it Kirk Diamond who said we made him so comfortable that he was talking about? Was it Kirk or the Was it Kirk? It was. I can't quite recall. The
This
person
Kirk,
said,
Graham, it's just a lot of different
no,
artists.
it was a local artist, a reggae superstar, one of Kirk and
Oh, is you talking about? Is it Martin?
Oh, I know who you were talking about. Oh my gosh. And he has
yes,
the long locks.
yes,
Chester
yes,
and he
Miller.
said, and I think he said,
Chester Miller.
Chester,
yeah,
Chester
yeah,
Miller,
he's I
yes.
think the one who did a song with you or something, and he was impressed with how fast you could write the words or something. Is that
Russ
the fella?
Morgan.
That's
Russ Morgan.
Russ,
Oh yeah.
Russ Morgan.
Russ was good.
Oh, what a character! He was so good.
Yes. Yeah,
he was
yeah,
great.
Ras was good. We had some great conversation with Ras, M2DK. In 2023 or 2024, we had Oxlade. We had so many different artists who appeared, and we always make them comfortable because we don't have interviews that gotcha thing. We have conversations. So I think it was he said we made him so comfortable, and he digressed a little bit. He says, "Oh my God, my mom will kill me for saying this."
I remember.
So
yeah,
that's how this platform has been built, because as artists, the three of us being artists, we know where to go and where not to go, and you know what, it's been so great. Well, Carson says he meant to say 2024.
Kind of thought so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, we still say we've had a lot of artists who have come through the platform, and we hope to get so many. We need artists, the Calypsonians. Yes, the Calypsonians. This platform is open for you and to you. So if there's any artist out there who wish to come on the platform, hey, we don't discriminate, because the fact is, if the music is clean, then we will have to sit down and have a conversation with you, because hey, we have built this platform together with you, and we hope to continue with that, and and continue to build the platform. Petra?
Yeah, most definitely. And I just want to shout out Carlson, all of the listeners all over the world right now who are tuning in, all of those who are looking ready and looking forward to the new year. We've got 3 more days of the new year left, guys. Like, honestly, so I know we're coming towards the end of the show, but I definitely want to thank all of the listeners, all of the guests, the entire Love Bay family, Team Highway 6, just for all the love and support throughout this year. And we're so excited for the coming year of what is to come. So I definitely wish everybody a happy new year when it comes. Sending lots of love, blessings, abundance, opportunities for the coming year. And just know that lots of love always from Team Love Bay.
Yeah. And it's been a pleasure also having Ron on board. And I love Ron's quips here and there, and Ron he's always on time. So 2020.
Am I?
Always. So you watch by him.
My goal, not my resolution. My goal is to build Ron to it.
You have the hats going on, so
as you know as well as I do, TyB, if you're on time on for stage, you're late, because you just don't. If you have a 9 o'clock start, you don't go there at 9 o'clock. You're going to be there probably hours before, so get yourself ready. That's what my big saying. I said this to kids all the time at school. I said, if you're on time, you're late. So get here early. Get a few minutes early, just so you can settle yourself down.
Yes. So we have some things lined up for and see, Johnny has released an album. A track.
Wow!
Great track. And actually, we're supposed to have him on the show a couple of weeks ago, but because of the festivities, the Christmas party and all this kind of stuff, we just couldn't do that. So I think we will have to see Johnny with us next week. So
I might not be here next week. So sorry, I would like to be there for
first artist for 2025, Ron.
What's that? Sorry.
That'll be our first artist for 2025.
Oh yeah, I have to be away, so I might not be there for the show. I would like to be there for that, but oh well. I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
you two will knock him dead. I mean, you two will do just fine.
Knock it out of the park.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to shout out a friend of mine, Ryder, Bigger Righty Boo. He's here from Jamaica. So he's in Canada, you know, passing through Toronto to Edmonton. So I definitely want to shout him out. So he's doing some wonderful things in the music, supplying a lot of artists, managing, promotions. So you don't know, big up yourself, Righty Boo.
Yeah. And I also like to give a big shout out to everybody out there, our listeners, our supporters, everybody out there. We hope for the best. You live. We hope that you live 1,000 years, and share the station with your friends and your friends' friends, and let them know that you discovered a radio station that's Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, and the program is Highway 6 to Africa. We are here every Saturday at 4 p.m. PETRAA.
Ron, any final words there, Ron?
I just say thanks very much for you two for giving the opportunity to come on the show. It's been fun. I learned so much, and I get to speak to so many people, different people, and yourselves, of course, who are, you know, very established musicians. And it's been a pleasure to be with you, and of course, to be able to have the opportunity to speak to so many others that we brought in. And I look forward to the year ahead. As long as you don't fire me. I'm sorry, as long as I'm still with you.
You're not going nowhere, Ron. You know, so yeah, so that was it. That's the show, guys. You know what I mean? So yeah, as one chapter closes, another one opens. And again, we look forward to all the wonderful things coming in 2025. Sending you lots of love. Again, unconditional love from Love Bay Music Talk Radio, from myself, TyB, and Ron. Happy New Year when it comes.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, folks. Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2025.
That's righty.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.